Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. Here is a nice little springy gel pull that I did earlier. And I did a background first, multicolor, pulled it from the gel plate, kind of knocked the bright color back a little, and then I transferred this print with graphite onto the gel plate. And there I had my design to work with. I use Posca pens, I use Prismacolor pencils, and a little doodling just to bring out this design. Then I placed it in these frameable cards that I have. And so I'll show you what my process was. As I said, here's a sketch that I did, a quick sketch. You don't need to know how to draw. And I placed it onto the gel plate. When I had pulled the print, the background print from this, it left a beautiful ghost print. I was using my 9x12, my 8x10 plate. And here was a beautiful ghost print that I ended up getting to clean the plate off when I was finished pulling. So that's a nice plus. Okay, so I'm going to start with, we'll use a little yellow, and you don't have to use a lot of paint. It's just a multicolor thing going on here. Just a multicolor. Just to have just a nice background. And I didn't blend it all together. I just did one of these numbers just to spread it, but giving a nice background. And seeing that I had framed, this is watercolor paper and drawing paper, and I had already mapped it out on the sides because I was focusing just on here. I wanted it more in a frame mode. And so you just press it down to pull up as much color as possible. This is a sturdier paper, but you can use cardstock, you can use watercolor paper, you could use computer paper. It's up to you what paper you want to use. So here's the background that you'll get. From there. And now, because I like to get my ghost prints, you never know what you're going to get. So I'm using some gel medium to pull this print. I don't like to waste paint or a print, and so I'm going to pull this. Matter of fact, I'm going to use another card to pull this print. This will be a more subtle background. And here you have a soft. Okay, so I transferred the sketch onto my 8x10 gel plate, and I'm going to put some matte medium so that I can pull this. Still have some white paint on my roller. And I had already created a background that I had sort of knocked back with some white paint to take away the brightness of it. And so we're going to see, okay, I had it the right way. Get as much of this design on here as possible. It's just so that you can have a marker. Okay, so here's the design, and I know it doesn't look like much, but the graphite does do a good job with transferring off of the plate. Okay, and so now I'm going to remove, well, I'll keep this on. So the print is on here now, and so the next thing to do is to decide what colors you're going to use, just as I did here. And so I started with some Derwent sticks. They're nice and colorful, where you can color it in, blend your colors, and then we have the leaves. This is very simple, nothing complicated. Don't have to know how to draw. Just made some isolated marks. And then I came in with brighter green. As a mix. And then a little bit of yellow to reflect some of the light. Then we had some more circles here. It's a little faint to see where they were. So I'll just put them in. I used a little yellow. So we have a nice background going on in the back. I can even take the Derwent to go over those lines that didn't exactly come out as dark. And you can, as I ended up doing some doodling after I finished using the Derwent, I ended up using some Posca pens. to bring out these little buds. It's a quick project. It's not complicated. And red. Let's try. It's not complicated at all. There's a little white in here. I got these little nice little buds. Something similar like that. Okay, and so to get a better look at it, I'm going to now remove the tape, and I'm using something called frog tape, which really keeps the sharp line without tearing your paper when you're trying to take it off. And here we are. Now I'm going to do some doodling with it using my Posca pen. This is a 1 millimeter, very fine. And I'm just going to do some circles. Do some over here. Just a little bit of doodling. Something like that. And, you know, it could be done wherever you want to put it, whatever size, circles, squares, whatever you want to use as your doodle design. And my pen is popping a little on here because this is a coarse watercolor paper. It has a lot of tooth to it. Put some here. Bring a little balance. Maybe some here. So this is simple. You create a nice little background just with using splatters of paint. I used about 3 or 4 colors in my background, and I didn't mix it all the way, just enough to create like a nice abstract background. And there you have it. It's as simple as that. I also did some little circles on the black lines just to give them a little bit more definition, make it stand out a little bit more. You can do that using, you know, whatever color. I chose to use black, just to frame it a little bit more. Small circles on the lines. It adds also a little texture. And so this could be something that you frame. And so here is the finished product. I cut the edges off, the white edges, since I was using this type of card as a matting. And here is the first one that I did. And here's the second. And the process is pretty simple. As you see, here is the diagram. I should be able to pull a second one. Now this was the ghost print. The ghost print after I pull this one. And so this is a nice soft background. So let's see if we can get another print off of here with the matte medium, gel matte medium. Let's see how much I can get to come up on this one. Enough of a print that you can follow to color in or paint in or whatever, however you want to design it. Okay, well, that one didn't come off. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can remedy that. So when that happens, there's a copy here. I go right over it. I think I did a few pulls off of that one, off of this one. So. Okay. So I'm going to just go and transfer it one more time. It doesn't matter that the other print exists because it's not pulling up with anything, so let's see what we get. So it's on here. Add some more gel, a little gel medium. I don't want to use too much. It may affect it from pulling up. It's not wet enough. So let's see what happens. Now I'm using a rough paper, which is for acrylic, paints, any kind of drawing. And I got these papers from ordering paints, a lot of paints, and they put these samples in the bag, in the box. So I figured I would try it. Okay, so it came up. Let's move this to the side. Okay, not as clear as I wanted it to. It might have to do with the paper being very rough. However, it's not a problem. And so I will go in with my Derwent. And Derwent, these are water soluble. You could add water to it if you want to. Like a watercolor paint. I'm just going to add my buds wherever. My leaves. Now this has a more subtle background. I'm just going to add some there. Because it was a ghost print. And like I said, with these types of things, you don't necessarily need to know how to draw. Some lighter areas. It's more like a abstract or figurative approach. And you're just getting, you can tell what it is, but it doesn't have great detail. So I could come in, replenish these lines. Usually my, wow, I'm really breaking them today. Usually I get good results when I pull from the graphite. But I think because I'm working with not a flat surface, but paper with that has a tooth, I think that's the reason for what I'm experiencing. So okay, so we already have it colored in, right? Doesn't need a lot of color. And now we can remove the tape. Now, if you're not using these types of frames that I'm using, you can simply just put a mat around it and frame it. In my case, I was using these cards, so I cut all of that. But this one, I may want to just put a mat around it. And so here's the 3 looks. I hope you're able to see this, to this process. Very quick and easy. Graphite chalk transfer onto the gel plate. Do your painted background first. If the color is too bright in the background, just with a little white paint and wet wipe, you can blend the white in and push it back some. And then you can doodle any design or not on top of what you have here. Posca pens you could add to it. So okay, I hope that that was something interesting and creative for you and quick. Thanks for joining me today. keep doing art. Till next time.